It's been a quite journey shooting with Grzegorz Krychowiak for the last couple of months, and we were talking about burning the script in a featured documentary, but also keeping the balls. This was the title of our presentation. We're trying to convince creative people to actually go beyond and try not always respond to the brief. Within a week, everything has changed on our project, in our production. Everything excluding the budget and the timing. So instead of shooting in a small town of Mrzeszyno in Poland and going to Paris and Sevilla, within a week we found out that we're going to be shooting in Nepal, climbing Mount Everest, in Tibet, Mongolia, Cyprus, Dubai, Spain, and France. Within a week, we realized that we do not really know the protagonist. So what we actually decided to do is to let him do his show.
Hello everyone, we're back at Imagination Day, the 12th edition. I'll just say big shout out to the partner of this podcast, Papaya Films. And speaking of Papaya Films, here's Kacper, the founder, and I just would love to grab few minutes to chat to you about your today's presentation, because you came to Multikino Złote Tarasy today. Could you tell the people who unfortunately couldn't be with us today physically here in Multikino, what was your presentation about and what we're going to be chatting about today?
Absolutely, but before we get into this, I just wanted to thank you for an invite. Hello, everyone. It's been a quite journey shooting with Grzegorz Krychowiak for the last couple of months, and we were talking about burning the script in a featured documentary, but also keeping the balls. This was the title of our presentation. Quite unique, because what we did within this actually mini-series is we redefined the way people look at the sports documentary. And we're trying to convince creative people to actually go beyond and try not always respond to the brief. We tried to convince people to risk. We tried to talk openly to clients, no matter if they're marketers, ad agencies, or streaming platforms. What we wanted to say is we actually did this. Within a week, everything has changed on our project, in our production. Everything excluding the budget and the timing. So instead of shooting in a small town of Mrzeszyno in Poland and going to Paris and Sevilla, within a week we found out that we're going to be shooting in Nepal, climbing Mount Everest, in Tibet, Mongolia, Cyprus, Dubai, Spain, and France. Within a week, we realized that we do not really know the protagonist. So what we actually decided to do is to let him do his show. Within a week, we realized that he is the perfect person to do the interview with other protagonists, his friends. And within a week, we had to decide whether to tell about the whole thing to the streaming platform or just to keep it low profile and quiet. And we were super fortunate because Sky Showtime is on board. I mean, these guys are extremely creative, extremely open. They're willing to risk. They understood that we do have an amazing opportunity to tell the story in a different way. So they were all up and they helped us a lot. And the show is actually available to watch now in Poland on Sky Showtime.
Yes, everyone, making in post-production, we're going to add exclamation point arrows. Yes, watch it now on Showtime, because obviously when this is going to air, it's going to be live. So watch it immediately.
It's literally one of the best things that we ever done.
I wholeheartedly agree, but you do amazing things. So I a big shout out to you, Kacper. But I just wanted to ask, so you did mention few key words like risk, challenge, kind of letting go of control. But if you had to summarize and use one word to describe this whole project with Grzegorz, what's that one word?
One word.
One.
Oh, damn. Nobody asked me that question before. I would say freestyling.
Freestyling. Okay. And could you give a little bit of? Do you feel? Did you? Because I feel like with freestyling, especially in our industry, we like having control, and then freestyling is really stepping out of your comfort zone. So was this a huge, internal work you had to do yourself to let go, or is it that you felt very comfortable in letting go?
I actually did not have any issue with that because this is the way that I've been operating for years. The biggest challenge for me was to convince my team to, free their minds and
Be spontaneous.
Totally, and also understand that the timing and the budget are fixed. So I feel way better when I can improvise and than in a situation that they're boulders. And I think there's something which we very often say, and I actually disagree with this, because people say think outside the box, and there's no such thing as thinking outside the box. What I say is you think in the new box.
Mm-hmm.
They're always a box, but you can create your own new box.
And also on the stage, you did mention, I caught a moment when you said that the roles reversed at some point, that Grzegorz was calling you constantly and he was super excited about this project. What idea of his surprised you the most or even terrified you from production perspective? Was it the change of locations, or was it...
Well, I mean, he just literally gave us a list of locations that he's going to visit anyway. And there were, let's say, safe locations like, for example, Dubai. But there were challenging locations like Mongolia and Nepal. I mean, Nepal, there have been crews in Nepal shooting different kinds of stories. But Mongolia is quite a unique place to shoot. And this was challenging, especially if you go on a, Mongolian steppes with like literally nothing within range of hundreds of kilometers. But it's like there's a moment that you obviously feel that the risk is too high, and then you have to say stop. I've never had this feeling when we were shooting this project.
Never.
It was under control. We're literally climbing Mount Everest with Grzegorz and 5 people. We literally had a list of people who actually have to go up. I mean, who's gonna be the one that stays until the very end?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing happened. They all went up, and
everyone came back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. And just to ask you, so in terms of, because I know this was asked when I came to preview Papaya's other series with Wojciech Szczęsny, and I really like this question, and I wanted to use it on you as well. So if the audience takes away just one idea from this mini series, what would you want it to be?
That you could be happy without reaching the peak or the top. That the journey is not about actually getting somewhere, but the journey is about spending your time and doing these challenges with right people. And I think you can be 100% fulfilled as a person in professional life and private life, even if you don't climb the top of Mount Everest, even if you don't play in the best club, even if you don't get enough Cannes Lions. It's the people that you're doing it with, and it's something that you take out of the journey.
Oh, I think it's a great message for our industry, because I think we're sometimes so focused on the end result that sometimes we miss the little moments along the way that could be bigger for our careers than we can imagine, just because we see that physically having a Cannes Lion standing on our shelf is the end goal, which we know, I think with age, and we're smarter and older now, that that's not entirely true. So that's a good message. And my last question, so I think it's a great series of and I love the fact that you've spun the different stories of football players, and you keep surprising. I was very surprised, and that's what I love about the production from you from Papaya, is that it keeps surprising. So, do you have anything in this same sector sort for us, more surprises, or is this a little bit of break of football from football?
Well, there are different sports documentaries that are coming out next year on streaming platforms and also linear television. Some of them I can't reveal, but apart from sports documentaries, we're also try to focus on other stories. Some of them are related to showbiz. Some of them are related to culture in a, let's say, broader definition. We will be premiering a very interesting show about the history of show business in Poland, based on life of Doda, one of the most influential and controversial singers in Poland, early next year. This is something that we can talk about right now.
Oh.
Now, yeah. So it's going to be controversial. It is going to be very interesting for different generations. It will not also only tell the story of Doda, but also show how the world changed when it comes to attitude to showbiz, women in showbiz, hate, and will basically show the life in the area of non-social media life and social media life as well. So this is something that we will be premiering early next year, and I really hope that you will love the show.
I will, because like I said, I would have to summarize that. Basically, I love when Kacper surprises me, and I love our small. Basically, we run into each other at different occasions, and every time he tells me something. Oh, by the way, this is coming up, and every time my jaw is hanging. So, in terms of keeping us surprised, yes, everyone, please stay tuned, and definitely tune in to see the mini series with Grzegorz Krychowiak. Thank you so much, Kacper. Thank you for coming over, and let's do some more work.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for the invite, and thank you guys for watching.